We've gone through Kevin Harvick, we've gone through Kyle Busch, and we are up to third in the playoff standings. Martin Truex Jr. I will now tell you why I think and some numbers that tell you he will win the championship and the best chances he's got and how the 2017 defending champion can defend that championship. So as you guys should know by now, if you watched the first two, we're doing this in order of playoff points as of now, as of whenever it's happening. So yeah, today we got Truex, tomorrow we got Boyer, next day Logano, so forth, so forth, so forth. Let's just go right into it. Martin Truex Jr., 4 wins this year. That is the third most, obviously behind. If I say third most, he's behind Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick, okay? I'm just to say it now, just to save my breath a little bit for later in the video. He has 4 wins this year, as I said. The wins are at Auto Club, a 2-mile oval or D-shaped oval. Pocono, a triangle, 2.5-mile triangle. Sonoma, a road course. And Kentucky, a 1.5 miles. 3 of these 4 don't really pertain to playoff tracks, I would say. Auto Club, there's not a track like that in the playoffs. Pocono, there's definitely not. Sonoma, I guess you can make a case for the Roval, which I'll talk about later. Truex in his road racing. And then Kentucky is a 1.5 miles, and there's a decent amount, as I've said in past the last 2 videos, the 1.5 miles that are in the playoffs. So, Truex this year, he hasn't been the best, obviously. He's third best. But, you know, he's had his moments where he goes out and he gets all 7 playoff points, first 2 stage wins, and then wins the race. So he gets all those playoff points, and he leads a bunch of laps, gets the pole, which is what he did at Kentucky. And then he goes out to Pocono a couple weeks later and runs 15th. So it hasn't been a great year for this team. Obviously, 4 wins is still good, but compared to their competition, Kevin Harvick has 7 wins, Kyle Busch has 6 wins. They want to be on top like they were last year when they had 8 wins at the end of the season. You know, it's just complicated because when you got 2 guys running that well and you have 4 wins, you want to feel good for yourself. Like, we got 4 wins, but you look up and at the standings, you're like, oh, there's 2 people with more wins than us. All right. It's really amazing how this is happening, but Truex, third in points, third most laps led was 676. Second most stage wins. He has more stage wins than Kyle Busch with 7 stage wins. He has 5 stage wins behind Kevin Harvick. 27 playoff points, which is the third most playoff points. So third in everything, basically. Last season, we saw him win, 20 stages or something and get up to 68, 69 playoff points. Because he had, going into the playoffs, he had 4 or 5 wins. He had about 15 stage wins, and then he got the 15 regular season champion points. So that's 30 plus 25, 55 or something like that. If you actually do know the numbers, please put them in the comments. I'm very interested to see what the actual numbers are. I know he had 8 wins at the end of the season, but I don't know how many stage wins and how many playoff points. So very interested to see. I think the best case you could make for Truex winning the championship is, last year. So we're going to go more into that. So as we've seen with Martin Truex Jr., he likes this new point system. He likes the stage racing. He likes getting all these bonus points. As I said earlier, he had 50, 60-something playoff points last year, so he was able to get to Homestead pretty easily. This year he has 27, and he can still gain more. Right now, he's my pick for Darlington. He's run well there in the past. He won in 2016. Last year he was leading, blew a tire with 2 to go, finished 8th. So he's shown that he can win there, and he's got strong cars, and they got a race-winning car a lot, but sometimes they just don't win, obviously. But obviously the biggest case, as I said, will be last year. Those playoff points rallied up. But the places they won at also. Martin Truex Jr. in 2014 moved over to Furniture Row Racing. 2014 was a horrendous year for them. They finished 25th or something in the points. Next year, 2015, they're doing great. They're leading a ton of laps. Then they go out, they win a race at Pocono, make it to the championship 4, but they finish 4th behind Gordon, Harvick, and Kyle Busch. 2016 was, well, we thought it was a breakout year at the time. Truex picks up 4 wins, has the most dominant performance we've ever seen in a race at Charlotte, where he led 392 out of 400 laps, 588 out of 600 miles. Record-breaking race. He also had wins at Darlington, as I said, Dover, Chicago. Those were his wins that year. And then he had another breakout year last year when he went out, won 8 wins, got all those playoff points, all those stage wins, and ended up winning the championship, and he deserved it. He had the most dominant car, that had the best team, most wins, most points, regular season champion, definitely deserved the season championship. The system didn't mess with him. He messed with the system, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. But where he's won at since that move to Furniture Row, Pocono in 2015, a bunch of mile and a halves. That's a big deal that they're winning at mile and a halves, but also some of these mile and a halves are in the playoffs. He swept Kansas last year. That's 2. He's won at Dover in 2016. That's 3. Homestead, that's 4. He won at Las Vegas last year. That's the opening playoff race. That's 5. Road courses. We could go to road courses. I mean, he's run really well there. I mean, 2017, he won at Watkins Glen. 2018, the first road course race, he won at Sonoma, and then he was on the back bumper of the 9, battling for the win, but he ran out of fuel and finished second. So the last 3 races, he has what? What does that average out to be? Like a 1.25 average finish for the last 3 road course races? It almost literally can't get better than that. The only way it can is if he wins at Watkins Glen this year. That's literally the only way it can get better than that. So he's got some pretty insane numbers at road courses. I'd say going into that weekend, he's going to be the favorite just because of his record on road courses and how well he does. So, I mean, he runs well at road courses. He runs well at mile and a halves. The playoff races are looking good for Truex. He has not won at a short track in his career. That is the only thing, but there's a good to it. He's run good at Richmond. He got the pole there this year. Last year he was running second, and then he got wrecked in the last lap. Martinsville last year, he finished second. I think he might have won a stage this year at Martinsville. I'm not sure. Tell me in the comments if he did, please. Bristol, he was running really good there this past weekend, or 2 weekends ago, however long ago it was, and he got dumped. So that sucks for him. But, road courses aren't exactly his thing, but he has definitely shown improvement in that he can run up front and contend for wins there. So, as I said, the tracks in the playoffs are his kind of style. Las Vegas, he can win there for sure. Richmond, he's shown he can win there for sure. Roval, I think he'll be a favorite. Dover, he can win there. He got his first career win there. He won there in 2016. Kansas, he swept there last year. Talladega, restrictor plates, he doesn't run great. I mean, he gets taken out in a lot of these wrecks, which sucks. He ran really good at Daytona this year. He finished second, which was very impressive, but, obviously second sucks when you want playoff points, but just he should have been happy to get out of that race alive. I think he was. I don't remember what he said. What's after Talladega? I mixed up the order of Kansas and Talladega, I know. Then the next round, you've got Martinsville, where he's ran good at last couple races there. Texas, he ran second there last year, led a bunch of laps, but once again, another mile and a half. And then Phoenix, he ran third there last year. So, and then Homestead, obviously, he won that race last year. So he's run good at the majority of these playoff tracks in recent history. He's run very well there. So he will be a threat to win. He will be a favorite to win most of these races. He'll be running up front. So I think if they can get through this playoff system without getting taken out at Talladega or something or having engine troubles, kind of like what happened to them in 2016, they're going to make it to the championship 4. And as I said, mile and a halves, they do really good with their setups there. They lead laps, they win stages, they win races. I mean, it could end up being a repeat for Martin Truex Jr. I would not be surprised if we saw that. But yeah, that is all I have for today. That was my case for Martin Truex Jr. Tomorrow, I will talk about Clinton Boyer and why he will win the championship. If you want to see the last video that I posted, here it is. It's the Kyle Busch one. If you want to see the playlist I made, right now it's up to 3 with Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Truex. Here you go. And if you want to subscribe to me, click on my face right here. Just go click. Thank you for watching.